guys want to get thrown a bone?
Sure.
Brian Flores says Will Fuller and Jalen Waddle can help the run game a lot this season.
Ooh, all right.
Except that first game, Will Fuller's not playing, so the run game's going to crap.
It's a long season.
Here's the deal, okay? And this is why, if you think of the plan that you have, how good does your running back have to be if the defense is in nickel or dime and you stretch everybody out and they're trying to take care of all those wide receivers, right? When you don't have, 2 tight ends and an 8-man box. So what they're thinking is based on how we're going to run our offense, our running back is not going to have to be Barry Sanders. Is not going to have to be Marshall Faulk.
Let's be Jared Dokes.
Which, by the way, that's a big boy.
They need to they need to, for Dokes, like when he gets a first down, they need to play the clip from Dexter of Sergeant Dokes where he goes, "Surprise, mother bleeper." That needs to be a thing. Miami tie Dokes.
I like it.
Comes in there and he gets a first down, and they got to play it instead of that's another Miami Dolphins first down.
Yeah, I'll talk to Kenny next door. I'll see if we can get that improved.
Tell Kenny, he goes, when Dokes gets a first down this year, they need to go, "Surprise, mother bleeper."
Oh boy.
Dokes was always on to Dexter. Spoiler alert. He always knew there was something off with him. Tragic what happened to him.
So Knox Money said, kids look up from her Lucky Charms. Hey, Dad, what's the popcorn trick? I'm like, wait. I would say this.
Chappelle Show.
That if your kid is listening to sports radio at 7 a.m,
it's driving to school.
We need to have. There's some other conversations need to be had.
Dokes was on that juice too in Dexter. I mean, he had the gun show going. Surprise, mother bleeper!
Leroy, I've made an edict. To not, I want to bury the sword. I know you and I, we've had heated arguments on draft and stuff.
Isn't it bury the hatchet?
Well, bury the sword hatchet. I don't know. Samesies.
Who's burying the sword?
Well, I'll bury my sword. No more draft discussions.
You lay down your sword. I don't think you bury the sword.
I'm laying down my sword, Leroy. Unless you throw the first punch, then I have to defend myself. But no more mentions of the draft and that 6th overall pick.
Great. Right. So you agree that Waddle's going to help with the running game?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that. I'm not taking the bait. Although Todd McShay, look, we are newsmen here.
I will say I am surprised with how many Dolphin fans are just totally okay with going into this year with really no changes at running back. Like, I get the theories of it, and you have speedier receivers, and in theory that helps. But I don't understand how not having a guy who you truly believe can be a feature back every single down, how that wouldn't be beneficial for Tua Tagovailoa. I know people have high hopes for Gaskin and Ahmed and even surprise mother bleeper Jared Dokes, but we really don't, like, none of those guys have this giant pedigree that we're going into. Now listen, maybe he'll turn out to be the next 7th round.
They tried the pedigree thing.
Yeah, they went old.
Right. Okay.
They went old. I'm talking
Jordan Howard and Breida.
I get it. I lived this life with how they view the running back. So it's tough. But I'll say this is that you guys don't remember the run and shoot with Warren Moon and those guys. And they had a running back, Lorenzo White, who went to Pro Bowls and stuff like that, right? They had that wide open offense. They never had a tight end, and he was just running as much as he wanted to run because they were so spread out. And then he came to Cleveland, and he ran a conventional offense, and it was a little bit different. So I do believe that sometimes the system that you put a running back in can make it easier for him. I just don't know if the system you have to have is going to best fit Tua, because the way they make it sound, they're going to be 4 wides and empty backfield and stuff like that. because that's the only way you can justify saying your running game is going to be made better by wide receivers. Because usually it's the other way. Usually you establish the line of scrimmage, you run the football, and they can't double up your wide receivers because they have to put that extra man in the box.
Yeah, I'm just worried like you're gonna go into a situation where if a guy's knock is that he holds onto the football too long, and you're gonna have him go throw 40 times every single game. I don't know. It just seems it feels like it would help out. It would help if you balance things out a little bit. It would help him in his youth.
Robbie, and don't take this. Don't take
is this a punch?
No, there's no punch. But what I would say is this. If you're talking about the receivers that you have, one of the things that they are good at is running after the catch. When you have receivers that can do that, the ball's not going to be in his hands that long. I can pretty much guarantee you that. And so from that standpoint,
a lot of screen passes.
Robbie,
no,
by the way, Robbie,
I wasn't doing that as a rip. I was
just as a point of emphasis, the whole league has done that. The whole league has made a conscious effort to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands.
This burying the
I mean,
sword.
Tom Brady just won the Super Bowl, and he's won 7 Super Bowls. And the last 10 years, how quick has he thrown the football?
This burying the sword is harder than I thought it was.
Because you're not burying the sword, you lay it down. It's not the weapon that you bury.
Dude, basically we're having a funeral for your sword because you're like, that's a big thing.
Yeah, you know what? I can't bury it because if Leroy throws a punch, it's going to take me forever to dig up the sword to defend myself. So I got to have a standby.
We're definitely picking up Le'Veon Bell or Todd Gurley. Give him another chance to show they're not washed up.
No. I don't want to do that anymore.
Todd Gurley was
Le'Veon Bell.
Right now you have a
Le'Veon Bell's ruled off, though, right? Like, we've been down this Le'Veon Bell path enough. Like, it feels like, hey, guess what? Surprise, mother bleeper. You had your chance.
He can still play. I do believe he can play.
Yeah, but he strung us along last year.
All right.
If
I had a choice, I'd take Le'Veon Bell. Simply because, I guess that bum knee is going to be a problem. It don't go away. Lagather. Oh, she buried her sword.
Very convenient. Twitcher writes in, Tobin, I zoomed in on Jalen Waddle's necklace, and it said Waddle. Well, that's great. I'm glad he's got himself an icy name tag.
I have to behave. No comments. No punches were thrown.
What could you possibly have to say about Jalen Waddle's ice?
That's what you get for 2 first-round picks. But anyway, okay, sorry.
That's your burn?
Nah,
that's what you get for 2 first-round picks. You can't deny, Robbie. His drip was strong.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good.
Hey, white guys, stop.
What?
Talking about drip.
Dude, he was dripping.
Best drip here.
Scotty dripping. I haven't seen Scotty dripping in a while.
Miss him.
Yeah, I miss him.
Maybe he'll be back tomorrow night against the Timberwolves, maybe? Or is that, asking too much? Maybe he'll come back against Celtics?
Who knows? The Heat with their injuries. It's so
annoying.
We don't know until Goron tells us.
Yeah, I bet you there won't be a Heat line during the show tomorrow. I bet you we won't know the point spread because the Heat are so coy with their injuries.
Goron, did you give another Heat injury update? You rascal.
Oladipo.
I tell you, buddy, can't wait till they're both back. When they're back, not if. It's like, Goron, it's supposed to be secrets. Playoff sneak attack. Happy birthday to Gogi.
The Nets won't know what hit him.
Right. They won't know what hit him. It's like, the Nets are coming in there, and it's less like, oh, man, secret. We weren't ready for this Oladipo secret. Crazy.
Actually, more like the Hornets won't know what hit him in that play-in round. Oh, anyways. The Marlins, they had a nice win yesterday. I was there, 8-0 over the Arizona Diamondbacks, already securing the series victory. And
Let's go for that sweep today, huh?
They go for that sweep tonight against Madison Bumgarner.
They don't. You can't spell Bumgarner without bum.
I mean, at 5.88 ERA, you're kind of is a bum now.
Washed.
All right.
I mean, that guy was on top of the world. He has three champions. 3 championships.
Past is in the past, my friend. Past is in the past.
But Pablo Lopez, benefit of getting the extra day, he will go on the mound today for the Marlins.
Great. You know, there's nobody I want to go out there with a broom more than Pablo Lopez. That dude knows how to complete the sweep. Let's go. Bats are on fire right now, getting some early offense. I like getting the early offense. Takes the stress off the game. You know, we start the first game the other day of the series. You have groundskeeper going deep. Then you get off to a nice lead in this series. Then Adam Duvall hits one out of nowhere. Tremendous.
Rojas gets a couple hits. Then
Love
there's
it.
that one Diamondback center fielder diving for the ball, and he misses it, and it goes past him all the way to the wall.
Idiot. And did you love the fact, Robbie, you had a little interview with Jazz Chisholm? Oh, you weren't there. You were watching on TV, but Jazz Chisholm was getting interviewed during the game. That brought some fun to it. Still's got
nice.
the blue hair. Yep. He's excited about some things.
Did he say when he's coming back?
No.
Oh, yeah.
He said he's getting better.
I hope he can make it back in time for the next Diamondback series because I'm dying to
We
see.
gotta
So is Tyler Hero.
Yeah, we got to score on Dragic when Jazz Chisholm's coming back. He knows.
Yeah. Ask him with Tyler, too.
Yeah, 6:40 first pitch again today against the Diamondbacks.
Somebody says, "Did you guys see Stan? Man, I miss him. I know that he's on an absolute tear right now. I mean, it is good to see that he's actually playing baseball. That's for sure, because that's not a thing he does very often.
Yeah, Stan is having the Yelich year, and Yelich is having the Stanton year. Well, Yelich is not playing games, and he has the bad back.
Yep, it's a cycle. It's a cycle. But yeah, he's on an absolute tear right now.
Yeah,
I mean, do you find it weird that just in sports in general, like you're dealing with like stuff that you never had to deal with when you were younger? For example, if your star or if a player on your team missed games, he was hurt. It wasn't, you know what I mean, the way it is now. And like, it's hard for me to get used to, soreness. He's going to be out a couple of games.
Yeah, and the Brewers are supposed to be here this weekend, and there's not going to be Yelich. I'll play for the Brewers.
Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, you know, we'll have our. I can't go bother him now. I would have texted Yelich, be like, "Hey, Yelich, what are you doing, bro?"
We'll get him on the show.
He's gonna be like, "Who's this?" And I just send him a bird emoji.
Well,
I've done it before.
You know what he's doing? Nothing.
Well, he's got to lie in his back. What else is he going to do? Why not come on the show?
Yeah, no,
Robbie Logic.
I don't want to be
let that slide.
Yeah, I don't want to be like bothering him and be like, "Hey, let's talk about your back injury." What else you got, Robbie?
Yeah, and so all right, I'm going to throw you guys another bone. So Pro Football Focus, they put out a tweet.
Yeah?
And they brought up some stats about Tua Tagovailoa targeting Jalen Waddle at Alabama.
Really?
I mean, this gets a little nerdy. I mean, let's be honest. Direct hit, 90.2 PFF passing grade. A direct hit,
nerdy to me.
74% completion percent. I mean, it's Alabama. 130.
Just read the stat. Don't need your stats. Don't have opinions. Give me your damn statistics from Pro Football Focus with Tua Tagovailoa to Jalen Waddle, Robbie.
137.9 passer rating.
Ooh, Leroy, that's over 100%. That's good.
Yeah.
16.6 yards per completion. Notice not yards per attempt, just yards per completion. And that they're reunited in South Beach.
You are the only guy I know that reads a stat and throws a counter stat in while you're reading the stat.
Yeah, there's nothing. I don't need your counter stats. I mean, you definitely didn't need to get a beverage while you were getting your second dose of Vax because you were well hydrated on Haterade. Let me tell you that much. I mean, what's not to love about a 90.2 PFF direct hit passing grade, huh?
Well, Tobin, what did you say about that Mother's Day card that was like through the roof, like $10? That's basically what the Dolphins paid for Jalen Waddle.
No. I mean, like if he has this kind of chemistry with his quarterback, like what's the difference between him and Jamar Chase? Like they literally did the same thing in Cincinnati. I don't understand why. Why? Because Joe Burrow. Because why? Because he smokes cigars and he's so hip and cool. Why is he getting this benefit of the doubt that Tua Tagovailoa isn't? One guy wasn't a one-hit wonder in college. Explain it to me. What's so great about this Joe Burrow that everybody's so happy with? So he's allowed to go willy-nilly and tell the front office what to do and who he has great chemistry with, but Tua's not? That seems silly.
That's some brass. A second year in the league, coming off a nasty injury. demand who the Bengals should draft.
Duke Tobin's bending over backwards in Cincinnati just to make his quarterback healthy. So if Tua goes and he says, "Hey Tua, what would you like here? Would you like us to go Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, or Penei Sewell?" He's friends with all of them, by the way. He's very close with Sewell. What if he knows about Sewell that Sewell's a fat cat, all right, who hasn't had to work about the next level because he's dominated everybody at every level turn, Robbie. He's not ready for that work. You know, he's a little immature. He's very young. And then what if he says with Slim Reaper, you want to know something? Slim Reaper was rats off a ship with me, and he picked Mac Jones. And not only that, he weighs about the size of a goalpost. So what if he heard that and they says, you know what? Ergo, let's go and waddle, baby, waddle.
Oh, God.
That's right.
Oh,
that's what he said.
Waddle,
baby, waddle, baby, waddle, baby, waddle. Throw touchdowns. Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, this could have been a genius move by Tua the entire time.
I'm not, first of all, I'm not getting into this over prospects, right?
It's not about prospect.
Exactly. That's my point.
But what I say to that, Leroy, is why is it that Joe Burrow gets this benefit of the doubt? He gets to go willy-nilly. Hey, I'm Joe Burrow. Let me pick all the stuff in the Cincinnati Bengals organization. And yeah, we're not giving the benefit of the doubt to Tua. So they go to him for a little chemistry rub. We went the same way. And now the numbers that you see that Robbie has presented you from Pro Football Focus is telling you 90.2 passer rating, 74% completion percentage, 137.9%. I don't even know how that's possible. 137.9 passer rating, 16.6 yards per completion. That's gold, my friend.
I think you guys won't get this reference. But
look, I don't. Here's what I have a problem with. The problem I have is this. Sometimes winning is important. Sometimes the numbers are important. Let me know what's important. Because we've taken the guy that's thrown for a bunch of yards but don't win no games, and we've liked him.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that doesn't throw for that many yards but wins games, we've chosen to love him. So where are we with that?
There's always context.
6-3 as a rookie is a phenomenal feat.
Fitzpatrick saved his ass. He was throwing. That was destined for a loss until Fitzpatrick came in.
He didn't save his ass. If anything, Fitzpatrick made it worse on him and put more pressure on him.
He wasn't even supposed to play, Robbie.
He got credit,
and he ended up playing and went 6-3. How's that not a positive?
He has some 95-yard whimpers at that first.
How
game.
Is that not a positive?
Context is everything. We could do this. We could play this game all day. Blake Bortles.
It is context. Here's the context. He wasn't even supposed to play, and he ended up playing 11 games and had a winning record.
Forget all that. Why do you have a shake weight on your shoulder?
It's not a shake weight. I have a spasm in my neck, and I can't find my ball. So I'm just trying to find something to put on it.
I'm sorry, I laughed.
To loosen it up. Yeah, man. Hey.
So you got yourself like a 2-pounder? What's on there right now?
This is I don't know. I got to get rid of the dog teeth. I think this is probably.
Your dog has chewed on that weight?
Yeah, look.
Hold up to the camera.
Yeah.
You have a monster. You have a monster dog if it's using exercise equipment as a toy.
Hey, he tried to drag it through the house. Hey, I'm telling you, every time he goes outside, he comes back to the door with a coconut. Like, I don't know what it is.
Put the lime in the coconut.
He's a beast.
Texter writes in, didn't Robbie say he wasn't going to complain about the draft no more, but still talking bleep about Waddle being an expensive greeting card?
I'm not talking bleep about Waddle. I'm just stating a fact that the Dolphins paid a premium price for him. They overpaid. And so I think Jalen Waddle.
You don't know if they overpaid.
You don't know if he overpaid yet.
Yeah. I mean,
can you say that?
Processionally, they overpaid.
Without
playing.
Whoa.
What did you come out of the show with?
Processional.
What the hell?
Processionally? What is that?
Process, by way of process, without playing the result, they overpaid. That's a fact.
No, what's the word? What's the word?
You think you're some kind of smart guy now?
What's the word, Robbie?
Processionally.
How you spell it?
Processionally.
-1, you ran past it.
Wait. I plugged it in.
-1.
Look, Jalen Waddle's got to be, to quote.
Oh, wait. Here we go.
Well, it's a word?
Yeah. It is.
Hot dog.
Of relating to or suitable for a procession.
All right, I'll give you a point back. I'll give you a point
all right,
back.
I'll give me a point back.
Point for
To quote Dewey Cox, walk hard. Jalen Waddle has to be double great for the both of us. Since he was worth 2 first-round picks, he has to be double a first-round pick worth.
No, but Robbie.
So let me get this straight. So he has to be. So what does that mean? He has to be a Hall of Famer?
Yes, he's got to be a Hall of
worth
Famer or Kyle. I mean, the Dolphins could also look out.
But just so I'm clear, just based on Robbie grades, he has to be a Hall of Famer, but the Dolphins also have to win a playoff game because otherwise he's a bust pick like Megatron.
Yes, correct. At the price.
So Megatron was a bust pick.
He was a second overall pick and led to no winning, as great as he was. That's
Processionally,
why you don't take
he was a
receivers
bust.
high.
So you think Megatron was a bust?
The Detroit Lions could have taken a monster bust at that 2 overall selection, and the outcome of their franchise would have been the exact same. It would have not had any impacts on wins or losses
you're
whatsoever.
saying
It's not his fault.
Let me get this straight. You're saying Hall of Famer Megatron was a bust.
His impact on the organization was a bust.
You
Not
you
his
know
fault.
what?
Not his fault.
No, but that's not what you're saying. You're saying it's on him that he didn't win. That you're putting all of the heat of that franchise on him, who happens to be a Hall of Famer.
But that's what wide receivers don't have that much control
By
over.
the way,
a franchise.
I grew up with one of those guys, Archie Manning. Never won in New Orleans.
Yeah.
But he was a good player.
Oh, everyone's goo gaga over Matthew Stafford with the Rams. Oh, the Rams are going to be the team to beat in the NFC West when Matthew Stafford was a perennial loser with said Megatron.
But here's what he is.
I'm just curious.
He's
Robbie.
a competent quarterback.
All right, so in this draft, where would they have gotten it right? Like because the Cleveland Browns, the next pick to Joe Thomas, Hall of Famer, also a bust in your mind. Jamarcus Russell was the #1 overall pick that year.
They should have tried to execute a trade. And by the way,
should they have taken Gaines Adams at number 4?
Wait, go through the top 5 in that draft.
Jamarcus Russell.
Yep.
Calvin Johnson, Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Joe Thomas is going to be a Hall of Famer.
I think Ted Ginn was 7.
But also a bust, Leroy, because the Browns didn't win a playoff game.
Right.
Gaines Adams for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Uh-huh.
Levi Brown, offensive tackle, Arizona Cardinals. LaRon Landry, nice career. And then Adrian Peterson, also a bust because you don't take running backs that high.
And the reason why the Detroit Lions are picking in that second overall selection is because I believe that was the 4th year in 5 years that they took a wide receiver in the first round, and they were 0 for 3 before Calvin Johnson.
Well, that you have to blame on the general manager, like just because they go out there,
you tend to put this all on the players.
I'm not
like he's one man of 22 starters.
But I'm saying he can't, as a wide receiver, there's only so much he could do. Wide receivers should not be taken that high. They don't have that much impact on the franchise. They're very dependent on the quarterback.
You're wrong from this standpoint. A game changer can affect the game. But here's the problem. If you're scoring 30 and your defense is giving up 40, you're going to then look at the offensive guy and say he can't win any games?
Right. Like you should have been more mad at Millen for not drafting, cornerbacks for 4 straight years.
Right. They didn't win playoff games, and dude broke the record for – didn't he almost break the record for most receiving yards in a season? It wasn't because of him.
Look, he's a great player, but his impact on the organization, whether it's his fault or not.
Are you telling me an offensive lineman to make a bigger impact? Let me ask you this right now. As far as the Dolphins, who would make a bigger impact this year for the Dolphins? Sewell or Waddle?
Sewell.
You're a liar.
Well, in that draft, Joe Thomas was taking the next pick, and
that's not true.
No, Robbie. But I'm telling, like Joe Thomas was taking the next pick, and Detroit had more success, nominal success, I give you, but had more success than Cleveland did. Like they at least made the playoffs.
Robbie, here's the deal. If you're telling me that coming into this year that a left tackle would have more of an impact than a game-changing wide receiver, you're wrong.
If you're going to go naked running back, you're going to be you're better off with the left tackle. If you're going with Dokes, Gaskin, and Ahmed, you're better off with left tackle. And there are plenty of guys like wide receiver, like Jalen Waddle in the draft. He's not like.
But you're here. Here's what you're doing, and this is what bothers me about the draft, is you're playing the result because you go after and go hindsight, and then you say, "Oh, this guy would have been available. This guy would have been available.
No,
this guy would have been available."
Like like everybody has their draft board and they have their rankings, and they know, okay, this guy's going to be available at 18. Do we get this guy at 6? Do we get this guy at 18? All the general managers, they know, get a general feeling of who's available, except maybe Chris Greer. But
let me ask you a question. According to everybody's thinking in the draft, of those 4 guys, who was going to go last of the 4?
Of those wide receivers?
Yeah.
Slim Reaper.
Okay. Now, if you got a chance to get one of the 3 guys, keeping in mind Kyle Pitts is far in ahead of all of them.
They could have had.
I would think it's more of settling if you ended up with Devontae Smith.
If you would have stayed at 12 and ended up with do what the Eagles did, move up to 10 and
Well,
get
don't forget,
Devontae
Leroy,
Smith.
Devontae Smith only has to be a first-round pick. He doesn't have to be a double first-round pick, which Waddle does.
Yes,
that's what according to Robbie, he has to be.
I think Waddle's better.
I'd
rather have Waddle than Devontae Smith, but it's very slim. It's a slim margin. Like if you
really?
take it, yes.
Is it?
According to Robbie,
you
though,
think this is what I can't get over. A guy who spends as much time around football as you do. You're going to tell me that based on what you've seen from this Dolphins team last couple of years, that a left tackle is going to make more of an impact than Waddle?
Yes, and because
and look, how many people you think would agree with
the
that?
Kansas City Chiefs, whether it's Tyreek Hill, whether it's Mecole Hardman, none of those guys, Travis Kelce, none of those guys are drafted high. They're wet.
You're playing the result,
no,
Robbie.
I got so much data and history to use.
Yeah, but what if
Robbie, the result?
What if Eichenberg ends up being better than Sewell?
Then that's you were talking about me playing a result. That's playing a result.
Well,
I'm
just asking
playing
you,
process.
Like, if they go out and they get Waddle and he has to be twice the first round pick in your mind, but he doesn't end up. Let's just say Waddle only has a success of 1 first round
or
pick,
Kyle Pitts could bust.
Whatever the hell that is, whatever the hell that means. He's not twice the first round pick. What if Eichenberg ends up being just as good as Sewell, if not better?
That could offset if Sewell's a bust.
That offsets the formula.
If Sewell
I've
busts,
found a wrinkle.
I mean, look. If you look, you got to make up ground somewhere. I think doesn't John King say that all the time? Oh, we lose votes here. Where are you going to make up the votes for? It's the same thing. You lost out on this first round pick at 6. Where are you going to gain the draft equity back?
I would love John King's map as part of draft coverage.
Robbie, but I'm still shocked. You might be the only person in football that thinks a left tackle is going to
over a slot receiver. Yes.
He's more than that, though.
Yeah,
you're right. He's also a punt returner.
No,
he's a very fast receiver that can put all over the field, Robbie.
And the only reason why you're saying this about Waddle,
you're making him out to be Greg Camarillo,
right? The only reason why you said this about Waddle is because you didn't like the draft. If you thought the draft, if you liked the pick, then you would be saying something totally different about the same player.
Leroy, you said before the draft that you would not give up an extra first-round pick to get Jalen Waddle, but then the Dolphins draft him, and then we have to put our homer hats on.
Here's the way I'm looking at that, okay? I'm looking at that as if, okay, it's draft day, right? The Eagles are getting ready to pick, and you have 12. And you say, hey, Eagles, I want to move up and get Waddle. I'll give you a first-round pick.
Oh, that would be
no. But understand when this took place. Like, all these drafts took 3 weeks before the draft.
But they didn't have to do that.
But it's also a net gain of a pick, Robbie. Like they ended up still with an extra first.
2 years from now, how mad do we get?
Here's what it is.
Oh, but how mad do we get when? How mad do we
What
get?
does it have to be this year, Robbie?
Oh, how
Does
mad?
all the picks, all your trades have to be this year, or it's no good.
No, nobody trades for picks 2 years from now. That's absurd in the NFL. How many times do we get mad at the Marlins when they trade a player for a prospect who doesn't play for 3 years from now? It's the same thing.
Yeah,
No,
but a Marlins first round pick isn't going to play for you for 4 years. Your first round pick is going to play for you
in
that year.
In 2 years. They did not. Moving out of that third spot, and subsequently with the moves after, they did not gain a pick in this past draft, and they did not gain a pick in next year's draft either. They gave all the picks back.
What if Trey Lance ends up being the worst quarterback in this draft, and then the 49ers have the number 1 overall pick in 2 years?
We don't know. Well,
then what, my
all right,
friend?
that card, like I said, that card goes both ways. What if Trey Lance, after a year of sitting, just like Patrick Mahomes, becomes an all-world quarterback, and the Dolphins are picking 32nd? That card goes both ways.
We'll see. I guess we'll see, won't we?
Robbie, can I ask you a question? Did you think the Dolphins would have the 3rd pick in the draft this year?
No, I did not think they would.
Obviously,
Do you think Houston, if they thought they were going to have the 3rd pick, would have traded the 3rd pick away for Tunsil?
On the flip side, when the Dolphins
the whole point is these teams that are good don't care about first-round draft picks because they're saying it's going to be a low pick. It's going to be a low pick anyway, so we can get the player.
On the flip side, when the Dolphins traded Minka Fitzpatrick to the Steelers, remember Ben Roethlisberger was out for the year, and Mason Rudolph was the quarterback. Everyone said, "Oh, bro, this is going to be a top 5, top 10 pick," and it ended up being 18.
Okay, but that's how that works. You can't play the result and then say,
I'm not playing the result. I'm playing process. I'm playing with the information I know at the time of making the draft pick. Like I know the Chiefs are loaded at wide receiver.
How about playing the information you know at the time of the trade?
And at the time of the trade,
draft. And you're taking a circumstance that occurred a while ago and applying it to where you are in the draft.
But I don't have to make that move at the time that they made the move. I could wait for more information. I don't have to make that trade 3 weeks in advance when I know teams could change their mind within the next 3 weeks, and I'm stuck with Jaylen Waddle. I don't have to make that trade.
Again, Robbie, I'm going to say this for the last time.
All right, we got to get to 15.
Okay?
We'll get your point in.
When they made the trade, they were probably under the impression that 4 quarterbacks we're going to go top 5.
But no team has ever changed their mind in the history of the NFL draft after 3 weeks.
But again, you
can't assume that.
I thought you said
of course you can't.
Hold on. Before we get to 15 minutes of heat, because we got to wrap this up. I thought you said you buried your sword.
I read that Jaylen Waddle stat. I think punches were thrown, so I had to take the sword out. I thought we were peaceful, me and Leroy, for the most part.
I feel like you got to go get a shovel.
All right, fine.